Now that has shocked me. If you're thinking about freezing pizza dough, this is the only video you need. I took the same pizza dough that we use week in, week out for our street food pizza business, and I froze it at 3 different stages of the process to find out just at what point is the best point to freeze your pizza dough for the best results. That's what we're going to find out today. So after service, some nights we have dough left over. It's normal, it happens, but it's such a shame to throw it away. I've been thinking, I wish I could just freeze this and use it again for times where we could sell it in the summer for people who've got home ovens to use. We could do last minute events because we know we've got a stock of dough. If a batch goes wrong, I've got a backup batch. Reasons like that. For business, it just makes perfect sense to have a stock of frozen dough in the freezer, but I need to know how to freeze it effectively. So this is why I've done this experiment this week. I've taken it at 3 stages. So the first stage was just mixed. Now that was, I did the main mix, mixed everything up, did the same as I normally do in this video here. And then I took 270 grams into the pot, into the freezer. Didn't let it rest. I don't have time for that. So I want this experiment to be as realistic as possible. I don't have time to make it and then let it sit for a couple of hours and then put it in the freezer. No, took 270 grams, put it in the pot, put it in the freezer. The next one was just after I balled up. So it had its bulk fermentation. At the point where I'd normally let them rest at room temperature in the dough trays, I took one of them and I put it in the pot, put it in the freezer. That's this one. And then the last one is post-service. So when I had dough left over, I reballed it, put it in the pot, put it in the freezer, and that's this one. So 3 different stages. And if you're at home, if you're a home baker, if you're making pizzas at home, you've got exactly the same stages. You've just mixed, you've balled up, you've got your air in your dough, so that's the second stage. And then you've got dough left over. After you've cooked your pizzas, you might have 3 or 4 dough balls left. So this would be that 3rd stage. So we're gonna stretch some pizzas out and see which one performs the best. I'm really excited to see the results. Right, let's set the boundaries of our experiment first. We're using the Univolt electric oven. It's the 1st generation, great bit of kit. We're going to keep the temperature consistent throughout. We're using Samazzano tomato base with 100% mozzarella, and we're going to stretch with semolina. Keep it simple. If you see any equipment that you're interested in, links down below. And if there's not a link for something that you see and that you want, just let me know. I'm happy to say where I get things from. All of the dough went into the freezer at these 3 stages. I got them out of the freezer at about 1 p.m. yesterday. They sat in the fridge for 24 hours, and then they sat at room temperature for about 5 hours. And this is where we are now. So they've all had exactly the same time in the fridge and then at room temperature. So, just mixed. This is number 1. First impressions. There's not a great deal of air in there. There are small bubbles, but I feel that the yeast just didn't have enough time to activate when it had just been mixed. So this is the first one I'm going to try. I'm going to see what happens. All of the pots were lightly oiled, so that I shouldn't have too much trouble getting the dough balls out into our semolina. Give it a good coating. Very dense. There's no air in this. I mean, it's workable. It's relaxed. It's shapeable, but it's almost like it's just been mixed, and I'm trying to stretch it out already. It's not too bad. It's just it hasn't got any air. That's as far as I'm going to go with that one. Let's get some sauce. Let's get this in the oven and see what happens. All right, pizza number 1 is done, and that is far from ideal. No rise on the crust at all. Nothing. Colour is all right, but no, that's not good. No, I don't rate this at all. Let's go on to number 2. So number 2 is what I'd expect to be the best one out of the 3. If you look here, we've got really good air bubbles. Yeah, really good results from this. This is post ball. So this is when I had bulk fermented the dough overnight, and in the morning I go to ball up for service at 5 p.m. at 8:30 a.m. So at 8:30 a.m. I came in, I balled up, and I froze this one straight away. So it was at the point where it had fermented, the yeast has activated and done its bit. Then it had the second fermentation after the fridge, so it just woke the yeast back up, and here we are. So let's try this one. Do you know what? Straight away, this feels like the dough that I use in service. This feels like the dough that I was using last night. Maybe slightly tighter. Yeah, it wants to snap back a touch. Let's see what we can do. All right, pizza number 2. Now that, I'm really surprised about, because that is some actually really good quality. Nice and crispy, really good crust on that. I'd imagine in my wood-fired oven, that would just act the same as any other dough. I kind of expected this one to be the best result. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go on to the post-service dough. Now this dough was done after we finished service, we packed up, I brought it all back here. There was dough left in the tray, so I sectioned it out. It hadn't overproofed, it was still a good shape and it had a lot of air in it. It's the same batch of dough, exactly the same throughout this whole experiment. It's not a different batch, it's the same batch at different stages. So this is going to be interesting, because at this point, if I can freeze dough after service, it's a game changer, because you don't have to waste dough anymore. So let's see how this comes out. It's almost in between the two. Yeah, so maybe because this was reballed, it was almost doubled up on the gluten structure. It's like you do an extra layer of stretch and folds. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But it's definitely firmer. But that's fine. I mean, I can still work with that. That's not a problem. Let's get some sauce on and see what happens. Get her in the oven. Now that has shocked me. Look at the crust on that. Now this is technically old dough. Listen. Oh. That is as good as in-service dough. Let's get this packed away and then compare them side by side. Right, so we have our 3 pizzas just mixed, post-ball, after service. Now we're going to cut them up and see what we're looking like inside. We'll do a quick taste test to see if the flavour is dramatically different or if it's the same, and then we'll give the overall rankings for the ultimate frozen pizza dough test. Right, so number one was our just mixed. Not great. Let's get a good slice. Nothing, no air. I'm gonna taste the crust. It's dense, it's got flavour, you can taste the salt in the dough, but it's just like, the only way I can explain it is it's like a really cheap frozen pizza. That must be how they make their dough. I'm not an expert, it's only a guess, but if I was to say, mix the dough, cut it up, shape it, part bake it, freeze it, this would be what you end up with in the supermarkets, and that's what it reminds me of. The taste is good, tastes great. You've obviously got the good sauce, you've got the good dough, the elements are there, you just haven't got the right texture, and there's no air, there's no chewy crust that you want from a Neapolitan pizza. So that, 4 out of 10. Next up, we have the post ball pizza. We did get some good color on it and some good height on the crust. Okay, we do have a nice structure here, and I do think if this was cooked in my normal wood-fired oven, I'd probably get a faster oven spring, more intense heat, and that might have given me just a bit more leoparding and a bit more colour on the crust. Still looking good. That's a good pizza. And that, I mean, I wouldn't be angry with that if that came out in service. I think that's a good slice. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, that's got more flavour. That's got more of the sourdough notes that you get from the fermentation. It's got that tang. So this is, at this point, that's what it would be served out normally. And I would say, yeah, like I said, if that was done in my wood-fired oven, I'd say that would be perfectly fine. And actually, I would use that, and I would probably freeze that and use that going forward. But the one that surprised me is this one. Let's take a look at this one. So this one is using the old dough. So this dough was the dough that was used after service. It had been proving for ages. I mean, I balled it up at 8:30 in the morning. This was 10 o'clock at night. It had been out in the cold, it had been open and closed, it had moved around, and then I managed to get this one dough ball in the freezer at about 10:30 at night, and it's had the same thawing process as the rest of the dough, but it just seems to be a lot better. Maybe it's because it had that extra fermentation time, that extra proving time. It's just great. Let's cut it up and have a look. This is what we've got. Not being funny, but that is perfect. Let's try this one. It could taste disgusting. It could be a case that it tastes too sour. So let's see. Right, I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between this and the pizza that comes out fresh. I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference, which is insane because this means that any leftover dough that I have, I can be reballing, and this has been balled twice. So it wasn't tight, it was a slightly tighter than the one that was balled once. Now, one thing that we need to remember is it's cold outside. So it's not like it's the middle of summer and I've got overproofed dough and I've frozen it and it's turned out like this. The dough was not overproofed. So I think as long as the dough still looks good, it's probably still got that little bit of yeast in there to ferment once again. And when you put it in the freezer, it stops the yeast, it puts it to sleep. And then from what I've read, when you get it out of the freezer, it just has a bit of a boost. So this is what's happened here. I think it would be a different story in the middle of the summer when the dough's gone all sloppy and it's like a mess. We might try that in the summer. So let's summarize really quickly. We tried freezing the dough at 3 different stages. Just mixed, just balled, after service. I would say forget about the just mixed. It's awful, we don't want this. Just balled and just after service, I think, are very similar, and it will depend on what time of year you're doing it, how hot it is outside, and how far your dough ferments. This is probably the most reliable one, the just balled. I would say this is reliable because you've just balled it up, you've just fermented it overnight, you've done your bulk fermentation, and you should get the same results every single time. And I think if I push this a bit further in my wood-fired oven, I'd get the same results. I could let that ferment a little bit longer, or I could ball it up, let it relax for a couple of hours and then freeze it. But the whole point of this test was realistic timings. I did it at the natural times of my process in making my dough. So that's how that one turned out. This one was amazing, awesome results. And I think because this one was after service, I think, well, you might see that some of it's gone. Don't know where that's gone. I think the results from this are incredible. And I think as long as you're freezing it when it hasn't gone too far, I think you're absolutely golden. So between these two, you're onto a winner. Don't do that. Just balled or just after service, but the dough hasn't gone too far, you should be absolutely golden. Now I just want to say a really quick thank you to everyone who watches my videos. I try and get one out every single week, so if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel, and I can't thank you enough for watching. If anyone's got any comments, or if you've tried freezing pizza dough yourself, let me know in the comments. This has been really interesting for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.